Okay, then we will begin in 3, 2, 1, and mark. It's close enough.
Sure.
Okay, and you can see that?
Yes.
Okay. You're very familiar with this, I think, because...
I did this a couple of times.
At a few
increasingly high speeds.
Yeah. And I decided to put this at the beginning because this was sort of the beginning of the idea that we should just put together one last little compilation video of the various cool things you could do.
So what I discovered after several tries is that the programming behind this is actually really shifty, where how often it checks whether or not you are at the boundary is based on the frame rate. The draw, it's tied to the draw function. So if you have it set to unlimited frame rate and you have a good computer, it is actually mildly impossible to get through. You have to set it, which is why you see me coming through at various
and having
3,000.
having a little bit of a fun.
Yeah, so this one I was like, why isn't the ship working? And then I was like, there's no
It's
back.
not a ship anymore. You lost all the ship. I'm surprised it didn't explode, to be honest. And then, it took me way longer than I care to admit to, figure out how to get out of the fucking cockpit. Putting the seatbelt on is not the correct step if you want to get out of a vehicle. You just sort of had this tendency to keep putting your seatbelt on when you didn't mean to, I noticed.
Yeah, well, there was a big prompt saying hit X. And then I was, wondering if the, little refuel and, health thing was here. And then realizing, no, this is just
That's only part of it. That's only part of the ship.
And actually, don't. And then, I noticed Feldspar's ship over there. I explored for a lot longer than this, but, there's just a bunch of ship parts around. Not Feldspar, Gabro's ship.
And this was flying for actual literal minutes at a time.
Yes. So this one I got up to 14 and still got stopped. No, this
was it. Yeah. You just had a lot of difficulty with that, because it turned out that was not the intended method. They actually patched it to tie it to the frame rates or something. I don't know. They did some kind of patch that made it so that it was much more difficult to do it through that method. You're supposed to do it through, taking the Nomai shuttle to Giant Steep. It will just sink through the current, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here we have something that Mickey kept hinting at, and one of the many things that Mickey kept accidentally spoiling right after saying he wasn't going to spoil for us.
In only the way that Mickey hints at things, directly saying it.
So at the end of the loop, a black hole opens in the Ash Twin Project. And if you go into it, it resets as normal. Completely normal.
I followed my data.
This wasn't a particularly good shot, but yeah, you can see the data streams from the Nomai masks flowing into the black hole, which is very neat. Da 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 da.
That's not what I wanted.
Nope. And then you apparently just decided to do this.
Oh, well, yeah, because there's this is an achievement.
Yeah.
I appreciate the little the little counter.
I put a lot of little overlays and some other audio crimes that will probably get me dinged by the YouTube copyright bots. We'll see. But I thought I'd have some fun with that sort of thing.
So the me slowing down here is me wondering, like, wait, have I really... One was wondering if marshmallows ever got consumed by the fire, and two, wondering if it was truly possible that I had only eaten one burnt
Yeah, apparently.
marshmallow up to that point.
So yeah, if you return to the Ash Twin project in the loop where you reset it by jumping back into the black hole, there's somebody there! So of course you go for the immediate choice.
Ah!
This was a terrible idea! Ah!
A little hand wave.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I think this might be one of the most extensive dialogue trees in the game. You are extremely talkative.
Yeah, this was me realizing, oh yeah, this is going to be one of those world-breaking things.
Mm-hmm. But what if you both jumped into the black hole?
Then there'd be four. We actually don't know if this is linear or
Yeah.
exponential.
So yeah, they start the loop by popping out of a white hole in here. So this is like the same body from the last loop. Their consciousness continued, as you postulated before, that it doesn't delete their brain or anything in the current loop. When the reset happens, it just...
The camera stops following him.
Yeah. We're talking to each other and nothing's exploded yet. Gaussen said that means the date's going well, but it's Slate's definition of a boring date. Find out a lot of funny, quirky backstory through this dialogue tree. And I fucking told you so many times, you are the Feldspar. I'm pretty sure I even said that exact thing. If Feldspar was in the time loop, they would just do increasingly bullshit stuff. You good? Do you have fewer teeth? I feel like the anglerfish don't actually have that much teeth. They only have like 8, don't they?
Yeah, but there's a lot to them.
Yeah. They're very large. So yeah, existential conversations with yourself. And then you just sort of dicked around for the rest of the loop. Just, not thinking about it. Don't worry about the friend that you left behind in the Ash Twin project, who is actually also marked with "You are here." I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's the only real indication that you did something fucked up if you jump into the black hole. met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
I was gonna do the thing with the cores later, but then I decided didn't have to.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fun.
Do you want to get like 8 kazoos?
And just like dick around, play our main theme that our buddy composed for us. Also, these joke credits have joke crediting. I don't know how to phrase it, but and they're scrolling too fast to see. But the positions are not the actual positions that the developers had. They're like silly things like anglerfish wrangler and shit like that.
Elk whisperer.
Elk whisperer, yeah.
You're so obnoxious. It's great.
Yeah, that's. I thought that was one of us the first time.
Yeah, but I think that's, I don't know, definitely one of the developers. If I had to guess, probably the composer. And then this is one of the secrets on the Stranger, right?
Yeah.
That is for a hidden Chivo.
Oh, you kept a lot of it.
I did. I had a lot of clips to sift through, so I decided to show all of the possibilities of this. Really.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll let it play out. Obviously, not having the torch made walking through here a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. But that did come with a bit of a drawback.
I'm actually curious now because I'll play out a little bit more. One being that it was impossible to see the depth of the ceiling, but like I could not interact with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least I did not interact with this thing. I'm curious if I could have and just wasn't figuring it out.
I don't know. I feel like you would have seen a prompt, and the prompt only showed up when you returned to it later with the artifact in hand, so it was loaded. You know, when you're walking around in the Matrix, you need to keep your torch with you.
Oh right, I needed to light that up. Yeah. Okay, so it's
1 out of 900, only 899 to go.
And I was hopeful that. Let me put it down on the roof. All right.
Yeah, you put it down and then had to walk right back up in order to see it in Matrix view. So yeah, the developers just really love Zelda. Not just Zelda references in the Chivo names, but an actual explicit Korok. Just right there in the game.
And a Korok seed. That's what we're gonna call it, a Korok seed.
Korok Seed of Happiness, I'm pretty sure, was what it was in the original game.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't collect all of them.
Strong implication that Korok seeds are just Korok shit.
Yep. By the way, content warning for crushing.
What?
Hey, you know. And then
Yeah, this one was fun.
Celsius 232.78. I'm guessing that the Fahrenheit equivalent is 451.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the big one. This is actually going to take up a bulk of the video. 1 and start. This is your beginner's luck speedrun.
Gotcha. All right. Oh yeah, there was also some fun ones in Eye of the Echoes that I don't know if I got good recordings of. Where like you could
we'll get
through the dam underwater.
Yeah, we'll get to those. I included as much as I could, even if it didn't have an achievement pop up. But this was also an excuse for me to figure out if I could get a speedrun timer like thing going in DaVinci Resolve. And it turns out it's actually pretty easy. Also, I know you're curious. Just how fast you're able to beat the game.
I mean, how fast I did beat the game? Yeah, I am
How
curious, actually.
fast you beat the game, yeah. what it actually takes if you're doing... If you know everything, if you do the speedy play relevant to the fact that I just 100% missed the remake. That was shockingly easy to get.
Yeah, no.
Beating Myst in under 2 minutes.
And, like, I've done it in enough games and enough styles that, like, the final puzzle pattern, I, like, kind of have memorized.
Yeah, I got to that point, too. It was kind of funny. It was also funny because when I did the randomized playthrough, I was using my VR headset. Also, I'm not actually sure if this counts as part of like the time that the game does, but whatever. This is a speedrun timer. This is RTA. But yeah, in the randomized playthrough, I tried grabbing the book and trying to turn to page 158 anyway to see if I could learn that early. But there's no way to quickly flip through the book pages.
Not at all.
No. You would have to physically, if you were playing in VR, you would have to physically make the motion of turning a book page 157 times.
How? It's every other. It's 2
Well,
pages.
yes. Okay. Yes.
Actually,
Still much
Not
more
nothing.
than I wanted to.
But no, I mean, not to spoil the game too much, but I'm pretty sure 158 is part of the audio file, and they didn't do anything about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always page 1. The randomizer changes the contents of page 158, but not the page number.
Mm-hmm. And I think once one of the brothers tells you that it's on page 158, when you grab the book and open it, it's automatically on 158, which is a nice quality of life thing. I don't know if that's in
That
the
probably
original.
was not in the older games.
That may be a remake quality of life thing.
Yeah, so you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can even get into the Ash Twin project, and it is possible to navigate through the Dark Bramble without the radio signal, but it's a hell of a lot easier to navigate
It
through Dark Bramble
sucks
with the
if you
radio
don't.
signal.
Yeah.
So I took this time to
To pick that up.
I hoped that I could get it from the ship, but that is apparently not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go do this.
Oh, and this was recorded during the weird
Yeah, this
period
is
where the
before I fixed my
NVIDIA drivers
driver.
were fucked up.
Yep.
So yeah, at certain points, Ember Twin was just completely blank.
If you were inside looking at things.
Mm-hmm. Which is definitely where you were at that moment.
Did I really not go to church first? I'll just eat up there and wait.
Seems like it. So really, this is such an inefficient speedrun. I can already see points of improvement.
I let the Ash Twin. No, I kind of stayed still. The planet came to me.
God. I remember I made a joke about, like, letting one of these planets just completely clothesline you. I guess the prophecy is fulfilled.
And then I found the sun. And just followed it to the towers.
I can't believe I never figured out that you can just use the sand as it retracts to walk above the cacti. And the warp to the sun station.
I fucked up again. Ice Lake was not a good run.
Well, this was your first try, right?
Second.
Yeah. Second.
The first one ended with an anglerfish.
Hmm. As many Outer Wilds loops do.
Alright, so I currently see the tower, but I think at the time me did not.
Mm-hmm. But even if you had, it's still like another 3 minutes before it's exposed enough.
Yeah. Oh, right. So, in terms of order of operations, this is like everything we watched happened. Like, this happened before most of what we watched. Like, I did the Giant's Deep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe first, but then this, and then everything else. So this is like before I really knew how to fly the ship.
Mm-hmm. When most of your vehicular experience in this game was with the raft instead.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I can see how you might have still been struggling with controls a little bit.
I decided that it was still too far off, and I didn't want to risk the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna look down for a second.
Yeah. Remember how scared I was of this?
Yep. I do remember how scared you were of this.
It's still pretty scary. I'm just a little more inured to it, I guess.
Oh. I must have like alt-tabbed away.
Yeah. Which still counts against you in RTA. I hope you know that. So the timer keeps going. I probably could have cut that out if I had noticed it, but it's true, the RTA timers stop for nothing.
Well, I probably got an important Discord message I need to check.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we could all revisit me checking that Discord message after flailing around in a spaceship for a while.
Yeah.
Now watch as I pace back and forth like a tiger in a cage this size.
And then once you grab the core and leave the ash twin, well, the tiger has escaped his cage. Yes, the tiger is out. Are you a tiger? You're not a tiger. You're a dragon in the Chinese zodiac.
That is true.
Yeah. Tiger is 2 years earlier, because my brother is a tiger.
Dragons are supposed to get along poorly with dogs, like my mother, brother, and wife.
All of them are dogs?
Yes, are all.
Wow.
Between the three of them, there is only one gap of possible dog years.
Like, it's 12 and then 24 and then...
Yeah, like, so my mom had Terry at 24,
Mm-hmm.
and then Terry is 12 years older than my wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that tracks. God, now I'm thinking about how many 12-year cycles of the Zodiac have passed since we were born, and now I'm depressed about being old.
Unless you're the dragon again.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
See, and this is before... Well, I mean, when we turn 36.
Hmm.
This is
a little ways
Before I
off.
thought to go the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2020. It means it should be 2024.
Yeah.
And just to remind you, 2023 is a few days away.
Fuck me, it is.
I got hit by a thing.
But you know, there's still something to be said for taking the safe path around this loop. Not that I would know anything about missing the jump across that gap in the loop. What are you talking about? That's silly. Who would ever do that? That's not something that will show up later on.
Now we get the good music.
Yeah. It's less sad Pikmin music at this point. It's more like dramatic.
Sad Pikmin dance remix.
No,
Like, it's got that like has that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it needs a lot more stuff in order to be like a dance remix.
All right, so let's get some
Electronic.
drums. Let's get
mix?
some electric
Yeah.
drums in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Get an extremely loud white DJ who has dreadlocks. I feel bad now. I'm sorry. I was not intended to be racist. At least by
I
bringing
don't think
up
pointing out the existence of white
racist
guys
imagery.
with,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think there is one anglerfish in this room.
Don't worry, I found it on my first try.
Yeah.
So was this room I died in?
I found it on my second, I believe. I think there's also one in here. I don't think we ever saw it, thankfully. But I think it is that other white light. There are mods to, like, remove the fog from this place.
That sounds worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely still scary.
Yeah, I like did not know how to fly this fucking shit.
And Dark Bramble does not make it easier. Because it is all twisty and fucky in the first place. One of these people is Escald, the dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, so I made the dumb mistake here of thinking I could put it down and shoot a thing. The answer was no. I probably could have put it down in the ship and then shot a scout.
So, the interesting thing is that the 100% speedrun of this has to go through Dark Bramble twice because speedrunners have not figured out a way to put down the core so they cannot get all of this stuff in the vessel in one go. And one of the notes in the ship log is you attempting to pick up the broken core and putting it in the slot.
Yep.
And it's weird because you can put down the core in certain places, but not in Dark Bramble, apparently. Not on the vessel, which, I don't know, maybe has something to do with this all being in weird zero-G of some kind.
It definitely takes away a lot of momentum right there.
Yeah. Kind of the same way the Stranger Cloaking Field does. So you got eaten by the anglerfish in the first room several times. You have dodged these guys every single time that you were captured on video.
Yes. No, I have never died to these guys. Even going through at like no speed, I have had the patience to just weed it out and make it to the eggs before. But the fucker in the first room has eaten me multiple times.
That's kind of funny. It really is the sort of thing that only works once. Once you know they're there and how to deal with them.
I don't remember if I tried to swag with the eject button. I probably didn't know. They didn't know
probably at this point, yeah, you didn't know.
Nor did I know how to get out of the ship or undo the seatbelt or...
Basic functionality in this game can be difficult sometimes.
I mean, it's just painful to watch because this is clearly before I put another, like, 20 hours into it.
It's fun to sort of go back to your origins, isn't it?
Yeah, and then remember how, like, I just missed doing the speedrun move on Had flying by and putting it in on the other run?
Again, noticing obvious time saves you can make here.
Like, not pausing?
Like not pausing. like memorizing the pattern.
Yeah. Which I do have memorized now, but I do not. This is, you're correct. This is me Googling the pattern. and second guessing myself and looking back at the monitor. And looking at the other monitor again. And dropping it.
And losing the ball entirely.
Really dropped the ball on this one, guys. I'm sorry.
And then, you know, we're almost there. Your time should have been 1840 or so. But then you thought you had to do that. And you were very clearly like, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong? But I did the thing. Did I not do the thing? I thought I'm doing the thing. So your final time is 19 minutes and 6 seconds. And 45 milliseconds. So, you know, not bad.
I didn't actually get to finish this because of the same glitch. I don't know when I stopped recording.
Yeah, it was after that. So anyway, that run's done. Let's move on to some other fun stuff. Ignore the copyright snipers that are currently looming over my head, sent by Yoshi. So you said the method to land on the sun station is just sort of do this around the sun for a while.
Except it's like really hard to make sure you have the side momentum, but also control how closely you get there. And then this I was super confused by because I thought that would count. But it turns out you really have to land on the other side. And instead, I went into the sun.
So, you know, it's taken a few tries.
I cannot express how much time you're cutting out. Each of these attempts was like 10 minutes long.
It was something. Yeah, the whole video was something like 45 minutes, I think. And I was like, what would be an appropriate sound for the kind of shenanigans where you're just circling something, trying to do something incredibly stupid, but we want it to be fun and flouncy and maybe a little bouncy. And this song was what came to mind. And
so.
3.
Oh yeah, and every time I almost hit the moon.
But it is basically this. You're just, like, it's just touchy.
Yeah, so when you're going really fast to the right, the difference between... and then I was hoping to land with that, and every time I switched, it fucked me up.
I have seen attempts where someone tried to do this, and then the interloper got in the way, and they bonked into the interloper, and the ship exploded. So at least that never happened to you.
That's fair. Yeah, so like when you're going at if you look at the actual like how fast I'm headed towards the sun, keeping that number positive or negative, keeping that number positive through the whole orbit is like not something the engine can do. There are like parts where it will go faster and slower, so you're just trying to make it so that it edges closer the whole way.
This would be so much easier if you could match velocity with the station itself.
Which you can, I just wasn't selecting it, because it's hard to select.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a pause coming up where I'm like, wait, where do you actually land on this thing?
Yes. I think I may have cut that out. But it is on this one.
Yeah. And like you have to land on like the seam of the window dome for the ship to actually stay enough still for you to get out. Oh, there's the pause, right?
There's a couple of pauses. I think I cut out like the longer pause timing, but it's fucking hard. So hard you actually flew entirely off again.
I think it's around here where I actually got the... Yeah. It asked if I wanted to... did something else. Oh, yeah. I got the option to lock on and then realized I couldn't lock on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided just to leave that broken.
And, like, it's gone. But you got it enough.
Yeah, I think just getting it is what counts. Yeah, there we go.
Look at you, you hotshot. Bold move. I'm still not going to be able to do it.
Oh, there's my ship.
Yeah.
Hi.
Bye.
Nice calming meditation.
Mm-hmm. And then here's some fun Stranger Easter. There are a lot of Chivos for doing random bullshit on the Stranger. Like, more than in the normal game, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, so the suggestion there was to find the vent out on one side and then just go under.
Mm-hmm. It would be nice if you could see underwater in a way that wasn't reminiscent of fucking Silent Hill. Wee. And then, what's this? I rendered this video a week ago. I don't quite remember.
I have a suspicion this is the one where you ram the satellite. If
Maybe.
you're catching it from before I'm on the stranger. I decided I did want my ship. My suit, okay.
Yeah, so it turns out... I think this one you may have tried to ram this satellite, because there is a Chivo for knocking this satellite out of alignment. Which is weird, because I thought that you did that the first time.
I think you gotta, like, really hit it. Or, like, hit it with the ship. I think I might have hit it with the me.
Maybe? In any case, you didn't hit it there. And I think you were trying to, but then you were like, hey, that's the probe.
Oh, so I did record getting to the probe. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing that the orbital probe cannon launches is an actual object, apparently.
Yeah. And I'm actually surprised there's no Chivo for doing this, because this was just an interesting...
Yeah.
If I made the probe asset, I would be annoyed that there's no, like, reason to go find it.
I mean, it does take a while.
Especially when you overshoot.
Whoop!
But I got a lock on it.
Yeah. It'd be funny if, like, obviously it launches in a random direction every time. But it'd be funny if you followed it on the first loop and it did end up leading you to the eye of the universe.
I think that's part of why they keep giving you busy work on the first launch.
Maybe.
I did see a video of someone where it landed was, like, on the ship.
Yeah, that was... yeah, I think I posted that video. Yeah. It was, like, there is a complete 1 in a million chance that the probe can launch directly at Timber Hearth. And the person was walking up to their ship, and then the ship just exploded. And if you pause it at the exact right moment for, 3 frames, you can see this thing colliding with the ship. Yeah, it's shockingly big.
And shockingly easy to kill yourself on.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the little etched Eye of the Universe on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is like the size of a Nomai shuttle or something, which it is being launched from a gravity cannon, so that kind of makes sense.
And that's when I realized I was never getting back.
Yeah. There's nothing else to do here, not even a Chivo for it. Just a neat thing.
And then this must be succeeding in hitting the...
Well, let's see.
Knowing me, I probably did miss on the first try and loop back.
I'll be honest, I don't recall what happens. And maybe that's just because it happens extremely quickly. Because you're coming at it at almost a kilometer per second, and... yeah.
And it destroyed the ship.
And it destroyed the ship.
But this is my favorite part. The map doesn't work. You can't check the solar system if you destroy the cartographer satellite.
Which was probably true the first time you knocked it slightly askew too, because I remember it said the map went offline at that point too. Just a little freewheeling. And then you were like, hey, I should check this out more. Maybe I can fix this. Maybe this is reversible.
Ow.
It is not reversible.
I'm next to death.
So clearly you decided it was a good idea to do it again. And this was, this is a long video. This is the one I had to ask you for context for, like, I could see that you're doing this. I could, like, obviously your goal is attempting to get the Chivo for landing the scout on that light.
So, given the Chivo description, I wasn't sure if it meant at the image of the sun or, like, the actual sun.
Mm-hmm.
I then clarified that it does mean the fake sun up there.
Mm-hmm. Which you are almost at this point, but was not quite there.
And then trying to find, like, higher ground.
Mm-hmm. Which is difficult at this level of gravity. And then you tried it at the top of the jump, and I kind of got it on, like, at the top of the structure where the sealed vault is. You didn't get it there, but the dam broke, and you watched the wave for a bit, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of a cool effect. Just like watching the wave roll through.
Seeing that made it clear how to understand. I don't know if I recorded myself doing the surfing. But, yeah, that's for staying at the boundary for 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Surfing it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there is one of that, but yeah, that's kind of neat. Anyway, back to the thing. I'm sorry, I just really like this music choice. And then that was the point where you cut it off and, like, tried to do something else, and then got it off screen. Yeah. Which is why the pop-up did not show up here, right?
Yeah. But then, like, and then I recorded showing that, like, since I had figured out how to do it. But
just to prove that you can.
And I do like that it counts as a hazard. It does think that it's hot enough like a sun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it didn't pop because literally the shot, I, like, stopped recording, was like, I can try one more, and that's it.
Of course. Doop.
Like,
so from here, basically, in the reservoir.
Yeah, and then a few times, well, not recording since, I've, like, just tried it, and, like, I can consistently get it now. I know. Mm-hmm. I have figured out the angle.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's just figuring out the position to shoot from and the angle. And once you have both, it's not terribly difficult. Like, I think this is a new loop.
This one I think I'm just sticking around with, unless this was you. This one I think I'm just sticking around with, like, how much variance there is and what counts. Mm-hmm.
God, now I am curious about what happens if you were to actually touch it, which is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to do with your own body.
I believe it is impossible.
But what if you, like... Anyway, then you noticed that the scout actually tracks the integrity of the dam. So you just sat there and watched it. Which I decided was exciting enough for the Phoenix Wright cross-examination theme.
She's down to, shields are down to 28%, Captain.
Actually, when you think about it, it is shocking, like, how much of the Phoenix Wright soundtrack is incredibly good, like, action soundtrack for courtroom dramas.
I don't think this is when I got either of the rafting ones, but... So I got them on the same try.
The one for doing a loop around the stranger?
The one for doing the loop around the stranger in 90 seconds, and the one where I managed to stay on the surf were the same loop.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, this was the first of several loop attempts in the clip that you sent me. I don't know if it was the fastest or not, I just decided to time the first one. Just to see, you know, what is the sort of average you could expect. But this was another one where you, like, got it on your first try the moment you stopped recording.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I was dicking around with... I stopped trying for this one. I was just inadvertently got it while doing the co-op.
Okay. So you're just flexing.
Yeah, this was definitely like my first and worst run.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know, again, obviously some notes to take. Also, like, not really sure where the cutoff point is. Like, if you start in the reservoir, does it count when you come back into?
So I think it's from any point to any other point, or like their checkpoints. I don't know how they programmed it. But one thing I did find out is that it's
1 minute 37 for that loop.
I did find out that it's faster if you angle it so that you are hitting two lights at the same time.
That makes sense. Diagonals, I've noticed, are a tricky thing in video games, and frequently, like, add the vectors together. So now we've gotten to the footage that we recorded together, which included...
Watching the interloper bloop.
Yeah. Just a little splash. I think I even noted at the time, you know, like, and it's gone. But if you knew nothing else about the mysteries of the game, you might think that that's the reason why the sun is going nova. And, you know, nothing else to do with the, you know, it's not like it had gone into a red giant state 10 minutes before.
Alright, this is when we were waiting to record the second.
I liked that I just noticed this, the black hole was warping the lock-on text for the Ash Twin project.
It was also, there was a "you are here" inside the black hole, I think. The version of you that's 22 minutes ago is...
Yeah. So this is when you jump into the black hole again.
Yeah.
After going into the Ash Twin project. You don't actually have to talk to yourself. Your other self is just there. But on subsequent loops of jumping into the black hole, there are even more dialogue options where you can reminisce a little. To be fair, Rebek was not launching at the exact moment, cosmically, that a supernova was about to happen. And yeah, I wanted you to record this because if you've landed on the sun station, you get to brag to yourself about landing on the sun station. And you're like, God, that was so fucking cool! Did that technically happen? Don't take that away from us. I'm just kidding. I don't care how time works. Obviously, I'm not worried about that. You're not worried about that, and you're me. So yeah, that is all the dialogue with yourself. Apparently that wasn't in the game originally. There was just like an invisible wall blocking you off from the black hole before a certain version.
Yeah, I lost my ship because I realized it went up here. So my idea to quickly eat myself into the sun got slowed down.
And then I think you were just showing me how to land on the sun station if I were to ever think about doing so.
But after the sun station had been destroyed.
Yeah. We are approaching the end of our Outer Wilds journey. If the music wasn't enough of an indication. So I decided, this would be a nice little way to segue from the cool stuff that we didn't catch in the main playthroughs. Also, yeah, if you die after bifurcating yourself, it destroys the fabric of space-time.
And many more.
This is my footage from now on.
Okay.
So we are just going to see the other ways the game can end.
Ah, right.
Which all involve taking out the core and taking it to various places. This takes a while. Also, I was a little afraid that the ship may have sunken into the sand. But yeah, turns out it's actually very easy to outrun the supernova.
Oh, you are way farther than you have to be.
Yeah, like already.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't quite make it to Whitehall Station.
Yeah, this is many multiples further than you have to be. But it's also cool because going this far out, you can also start to see the other supernovae that are happening around the galaxy.
I think your achievement range, though, because there is one for being, I think, 10k out when it explodes. So we'll just say you're going for that achievement.
Yeah, on the platform that doesn't have them. Yeah, I think I eventually got up to like 22k meters per second. Maybe this. But yeah, at some point, like right around here, it's funny because you don't even get the musical cue. You just see it explode when you're holding the core. And then it's far enough out that you, like, can't even really see the expanded form of it anymore. I mean, there's a decent enough pinprick of light.
So usually around here is when you would get the purple effects if you were this far out.
But,
So I'm curious how much longer it takes.
well, I probably should have slapped another timer on there. But turns out it's a bit of a while. We're just gonna keep hanging like this for
There's
a while.
also, like, 1 star left.
Yeah, the rest of the stars are going out
It's
too.
out.
Yeah. Or going nova. So yeah, you get to watch, if you go this far out, you get to watch the rest of the universe die. I hope nobody else watching this has any existential angst about the end of the universe. I think it hit me harder doing this than it did doing the actual ending of the game. You get to just sit here for a while and think about things.
So if you're actually target on the Ash Twin project, which still exists?
I don't think so. I think my lock-on was on the sun, and
Yeah.
which goes away once the sun goes nova. That's just the ship log mark, I think.
For reference, you can outpace from a standstill the actual expansion of the nova. So if you if you're at the Ash Twin project, which I've done, and you wait for the sun to collapse in on itself, and there's that first initial explosion.
So yeah,
If
not horrifying in the slightest.
if you start flying away from the sun as the smaller explosion, the bigger secondary explosion starts, you can outpace it from a standstill.
Okay. I feel like that wouldn't be true in real life. I don't know.
No. Also,
Also, this was fun.
yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
This was I think I slept at the opening campfire a bit to wait for the Ash Twin to disperse enough, and then I thought I could just safely autopilot pretty much directly from the launch pad. No.
Oh, that's a meditate.
Yeah. It's just easier to reset than try and fix it.
My understanding is that real supernovae fuck up light years around them. No, maybe not instantaneously.
But while this game does relative scale extremely well, realistic scale maybe not so much. Again, given the solar system is about 30 kilometers across.
The timescale of things moving has been changed to be fun.
Yes. So yes, there is one other place in the base game where you can take the core and be out of the range of the supernova.
You did the 2 DLC ones too?
Those are coming after.
Nice. I was not aware that you had found the stranger on your save.
I played a little bit. I haven't completed it myself at this point. And because the Chivos don't exist, and I have seen the entirety of Echoes of the Eye, I don't feel a particular need to, but I did explore the stranger a little bit. But yeah, thinking about it, other than just directly flying away from the solar system, this is another way to get out of range of the supernova. By the end of the loop, is take the quantum moon to the 6th location.
Alright, now I'm curious what happens if, after the supernova has passed, dissipated, what happens if you jump up and out of the quantum moon?
I mean, I think if you're on the quantum moon when it's in the solar system, you will die to the supernova.
What I'm saying is, while you were out of the solar system, there was definitely a point where the supernova had dissipated. And you were just waiting.
And you're at the 6th loop, like that one loop where we tried jumping out of the atmosphere to see if we could see the eye. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't try that. good times. Remember the first time we were here and Mickey was like bursting at the seams to spoil us on how to quantumly entangle ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah. I gave him some shit for that, at least.
The reason I'm like not super hard on Mickey for obviously like bursting at the seams to tell us cool shit to do before we knew about it naturally in game was because I did the same thing to him when he was playing Hypnospace. I don't want to get into who was more obnoxious during what. I don't think it super matters. I just felt like I didn't really have room to talk about Mickey's backseating.
I would just say that I was more invested in this game than Hypnospace.
Fair. Not
Because of who was giving the spoilers, I just found this game way more engaging.
This is a really fucking good game.
Actually, Solemn doesn't have any sort of opinions about you bringing core.
No, she doesn't. I mean, she can only talk with you in a certain way, and she doesn't make a new one about you carrying the core. So, you're just here. With an advanced warp core. So yeah, obviously I dicked around for a while. I took some selfies with her. Also, yeah, you can put down the warp core here. I don't know why you can't in Dark Bramble.
Probably the 0G.
Yeah. Also, fun camera angles with the scout launcher. Look at that shit. It is very clearly not attached to the actual player model. Which I think may be, like, why I thought at the beginning that I had 4 arms. Like, I saw the arm hanging down, and assumed that another right arm was holding up and aiming the scout launcher. But if you look carefully there, you can see there's a grip that you're supposed to be holding, and you're just not.
Well, the hand in the not picture is.
yeah. Your left hand is holding. I presume that's the joystick for like your jetpack. But there's another grip on the scout launcher itself, and your hand is just there. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, quite some time later, you just get to chill out with Solemn for the rest of eternity.
I have a feeling I might be dead. Not entirely alive.
The Quantum Moon still exists at the 6th location, and no longer exists at the other 5, because it was destroyed in a supernova.
Actually, given what's up with Solemn, what probably means is that there are 6 versions of you.
Yeah, and 5 of them were incinerated in the supernova.
So if you jump up, out, even after the supernova, you would take your consciousness would go to the version of you from that moon. And by consciousness used incredibly lightly here.
Yeah. So yeah, other ways to escape the supernova involve being on the Stranger.
I really like the framing of this picture.
Thank you. I thought it was clever. Unfortunately, the sail perfectly blocks the moment the sun goes nova. At least from this seat. Yeah. But you still get a pretty good view. Just chilling here. Sipping some kind of elk wine.
Elk tea.
Elk tea, yeah.
It's when you steep elk like horns in water.
Yeah, definitely. This big, scary blue orb. I did go and check the diagram down in the other room before this, and yeah, that is, like, noticing, and yeah, eventually the explosion just sort of fades away. It doesn't, like, retract or anything.
Now I'm curious what the diagram says mid-explosion.
I think it's, if I had to guess, probably just, like, a big blue everything. But it's definitely noticing that the sun is, like the bar is filling up the closer the sun is to Nova, and the stranger is, like, getting closer to that blue flame barrier, and is outside of it by this point. So again, the Nova's gone through, and you just get to take a minute to sit here and think about your position in the universe and everything. Because it's not like the other branches of this game led you to do that before.
I hope these sun sails still work when every star in
yeah, how is it propelling itself now? If at all.
I mean, it's not like... That's the other thing. There's nowhere to propel to.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the Nomai probably weren't safe in that system they found.
I mean, there's elk jerky everywhere.
That's like hundreds of thousands of years old, though. That's gotta be rotten. So, I missed.
I didn't know you could miss that.
You can.
Oh, and it's just, we commented on this the other day. It's just like a rock wall.
And it's, and it turns out that if you miss, it's incredibly hard to get out. Because, like, this is creating the artificial gravity, so you're just, like, I don't know. Also, this can be a little, like, nausea-inducing, so, I guess content warning for that. But, like, if you're sensitive to that sort of stuff, just, be conscious about this, because, this is a little fucky.
I like I have no idea how to get standing.
Yeah, like, how do I do anything? Eventually, I, like, sort of realized I could sort of propel myself to one of the poles. Like, the game is trying very hard to throw you against that, because that's probably where the gravity is forming. But if you can make it to the pole, that is relatively stable, so then you can actually float up a little bit. And then make it back onto the track. Fun little misadventure. Yeah. So yeah, one last way to escape the supernova. Maybe the most horrifying one, as a matter of fact.
Oh yeah, I guess this is the easiest fire to get to. Wait. Oh, you just like left it somewhere else in the stranger?
Yeah. I just walked into the stranger and dropped it on the ground.
There's something worse about the warp core not even being with you.
And then And then you just throw yourself onto the fire so you're not even there to experience the supernova in the reality where it happens. So this was relatively early in the loop, and the interesting thing is, you don't get much of a chance to explore after this. The game realizes what you did, and begins to fade out very soon. And then they don't even bother to hunt you anymore. You're just one of them now, until your life from before is some half-remembered dream. If only you could wake up.
Okay, so that is legitimately what they're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know why they're assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why the current iteration of them are assholes.
Yeah, yeah. And on that horrifying note, that really, truly is the end of Outer Wilds.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
This was... I really enjoyed doing this. This was just a really fun project to work on. I'm glad you guys were willing to go along with it and indulge me on that.
Just
and
too
I'm
bad
glad...
we're not recording Ape Escape.
Yeah. Yeah, we might do it with some of our other weekly game nights in the future, but Liam didn't want to with Ape Escape. He just wanted to have a chill Ape Escape time. And yeah. Thank you again for stepping up to play Echoes when I was not feeling well and just doing all of that. That was really fun.
This was a really fun game. I'm glad to play through it.
Mm-hmm. Are you also of the opinion this suddenly became one of your favorite games of all time, or is it not?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. Yes.
Yeah.
And we joked about doing the coordinates as a tattoo, but I'm considering it.
Yeah.
For real.
This is just such a great game. Like the game itself is just so well designed, and then ties it all narratively into something that just means so much. And the idea of it would be really great to have a constant reminder of those coordinates pointing you to extreme probability and collapsing that probability into an observable form, you know? It's really cool. I'm really glad we played this.
Same.
Yeah.
Cool.
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 Cool.